Dear Derry, welcome to... Sorry. Probably shouldn't record my vlog with gum in my mouth. Gum with a G. Gum in my mouth. Whatever you were thinking, it was probably more suitable for TMI Tales Tuesday. So, as I was just making a cup of tea moments ago. How many moments ago? Not many. Because, it's not even finished steeping yet, so I probably won't be drinking any during this. However, as I was making it and I was discussing with my housemates, I was watching the news this morning before I went to sleep. Because I went to sleep about 9 a.m. Sun's up. One of my housemates was getting ready to go to work. I guess this would be closer to 7 then, because he leaves the house at 7 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, I was up, and he was watching the news, and it was like Good Morning America or something, and they were showing the big Christmas tree in New York, and they were saying that it had like 10,000 LEDs or 100,000 LEDs or 4 LEDs or something like that, some number, and on it, and that it would be, when all was said and done, it would be milled down, and the lumber would be donated to Habitat for Humanity, which is very damn cool. However, what I heard, and I'm not sure how my brain misprocessed this, but I heard something about however many thousands of LEDs there were, and that they were going to put it into low Earth orbit. I don't know where that came from. Sometimes I hear things in a very creative fashion that make no sense to anyone, especially not to me. What else could I tell you about? So that was an interesting start to the morning, but end to my day, because I then went to sleep. And then woke up at 11 for about half an hour or so, and then went back to bed and woke up at like 5:30 or so, and I was like, oh God, the sun's going down. And so I'm nocturnal now. I go through cycles like that where I'm nocturnal for a while, but normally I just do it because I'm, for whatever reason, just more comfortable being awake at night. When I was much younger, it was like that. I was very much a nighttime person, and I could get more done at night than I could during the day. Now it's just that it's easier to record at night when everybody's asleep. So I wind up, start recording around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I finish recording around 6 when my housemate gets up, and people are starting to drive by, and the birds are starting to start screaming at each other and everything. So it's just easier to record during those 4 hours or so, because it's quieter as another car goes by. But it's only 10:30 right now, so let's see. The suggestion was made that I should call Thursday Throwback Thursday. It's an interesting idea, and regaling people with, past gaming experiences could be very amusing, maybe 3 or 4 times, because ironically enough, for someone who has worked at a video game company and who wants to do video game voiceover, I really don't like video games very much, which doing the voiceover thing isn't that bizarre of a surprise, but to work at a video game company and be somebody who doesn't really like video games all that much, that's a little weird. And people are like, well, why did you take this job? It's like, well, desperation for one. I needed the paycheck. And it's just like, what the heck? Money is money, and even though I don't like playing them, testing them is okay, because I'm not playing it. I'm testing it. There's a difference. I'm looking for flaws and stuff like that. So I can handle testing it because it's a different mindset than playing. It's very analytical. It's very, if I'm playing a game, I like puzzle kind of games because it requires a more analytic aspect of my mind rather than, like games that involve, say, PvP, Torin, Lock, Core. Anyway, so, yeah, there's that. I get home from chicken this evening, and there's an email. Well, not an email. It was a message on Facebook for me from the producer that I worked with at EA on Origin this last time around. And apparently his girlfriend is trying to get in touch with me because she wants me to help her with some voiceover stuff on a project she's working on. I'm like, yeah, yes, I'll get involved. Absolutely, no problem. Why are you even presenting this? Like, oh, yes, the answer is yes. No problem at all. It seems like there was something else. And of course, I didn't turn on my iPad, so I don't know if I had anything else to talk about at all. Anyway, found new images, but I'm not sharing those with you. No, I have nothing written down, so apparently nothing that important. Seemed like there was something that might have been said at Chicken that I might have wanted to talk about. No, but one of the other big, well, two of the other big things that have been on a socio-political level, there are people all over the country who are up in arms about the federal mandate to raise minimum wage to $15 an hour, which is a big jump. I think one of the local restaurant owners was like, if you do that, if you raise minimum wage to $15 an hour, then people like waiters and waitresses and whatnot are going to be making, they're going to have to be paid a lot more than they are right now, because most of the time, waiters and waitresses, having been a waiter before, you don't even make a minimum wage. But the idea is that tips will make up for it. And that you'll wind up, passing minimum wage at that point. So at least that's what it was back in 1988, and back in Texas. So it was, the idea of making $15 an hour plus tips might be time for people to start thinking about becoming a waiter, because that's a significant thing. I mean, I only made a little bit more than that at EA this last time around. And I mean, I had 10 years of experience in the gaming industry, in QA specifically. Crazy. And then the other thing that has some people, especially Angry Joe, up in arms is the casting of Wonder Woman in the new Man of Steel sequel that also includes Batman and possibly the Flash. And it's like, apparently the woman who is slated to theoretically play Wonder Woman, her hair color's right, but that's the picture. I mean, she was like the girlfriend in the Fast and the Furious or something. If you look her up, I think her name is Gal Gadot. I think Gal Gadot. I think is it Gal Gadot. Look her up. She's very pretty, but she's very, very skinny. You can see like the bones, here, and just, no. As an old friend of mine in the Army would have said, that bitch need to eat a sandwich. She's way too thin. Way too thin. Wonder Woman, she is an Amazon warrior princess. She is not Callista Flockhart. And no disrespect to Callista Flockhart, but the bitch need to eat a sandwich. Wonder Woman is supposed to be she's a freaking powerhouse. I mean, not to the level of like China, who is a fantastic, female bodybuilder and weightlifter, just very pretty as well. I think she's very pretty. But I mean, there are many, 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 many better options for, at least as far as the physical, the physical build, doing this while I'm doing that. The musculature and whatnot, to be able to play Wonder Woman and play her well. And one of the things that Angry Joe said is that he hopes it's just kind of a throwaway thing. That, like, towards the end of the movie, it's like, oh, and this is Diana and Barry, and then roll the end credits. It's like this kind of thing of, oh, no. The theory is that WB they're taking the DC thing and they're trying to play catch up with Marvel, because Marvel has done such an incredible job of portraying their characters so well recently. I mean, each one of the Avengers, movies, they got their own movie, at least one of them, for each individual character. And, to establish who this character is and to make it clear who the character is, and what they're all about. And then you make the group movie, because now we've had the individual movies to kind of teach us who they are and make us care about them, so that when they bring them all together, it creates this amazing thing. Partly because you see how they are individually and you're like, these guys are never going to work together. And it makes things like the beginning of the Avengers, where they're all very kind of individual and they don't really work that well together. They kind of do, but they kind of don't. And it makes them overcoming that and learning to work as a team that much stronger, because you know how they are on their own. Doing it this way, you're taking what should be a Superman movie, a sequel, and you're adding in Batman because Batman's really popular. Well, that's not a good reason to add a character into a movie, especially not a sequel that's supposed to be about this character. Now you're having the Superman character kind of riding in on the coattails of Batman just because Batman is famous. And then you throw in Wonder Woman and the Flash because you are hopefully maybe later going to make a Wonder Woman movie and possibly a Flash movie. Well, guess what? You had an opportunity to make a Wonder Woman movie. Joss was trying to, and you shut him down. You deserve nothing. Good day, sir. You had your chance. You screwed it up. Because if anybody could have done it right, it would have been Joss. And to hell with you. So, if you're trying to play catch up with Marvel, you're doing it wrong. It's like trying to catch a frisbee with your Adam's apple. Just no. I looked that up. Look up dog frisbee neck. Do like a Google search for that. Dog hit in the neck with a frisbee. You see this picture of this yellow. I don't think it's a retriever. I don't think it's a golden retriever, but I think it's one of the retriever breeds, and he's yellow. A yellow retriever. And he's standing in the front yard in front of a Jeep, and he's getting hit in the neck. And he's like, ugh! Getting hit in the neck with a frisbee. Incredibly funny picture. I find it far funnier than I should because it seems kind of cruel, but it is hysterical looking. Okay, so that's 12 and a half minutes, and I'm going to let you guys go because I've got lots of YouTube videos to watch, apparently. And I've got a script I need to read now. So I will talk at you guys later, and until then, be careless.